Ball gets away from any runner's body. That's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's probably a little angry at himself. It was his fumble, obviously, a moment ago that led to the scoop and score touchdown that has him down early.
And now we find out about the psychology aspect of being a coach. Because when you have a guy that's just happened, some people want to take him out of the game immediately. Others say, you know something? Let's feed him the ball again next series and see if he's going to be able to atone for it. Let's see what they decide to do.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback.
And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run. It's Rodgers. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there, with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And he will not bring it out. He'll just go down to a knee here for a touchback, and the ball will come out to the 25. First down, Walker. He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 136 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there. But they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
That one, 28 yards on the ground. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for him.
Touchdown! Chase Claypool from 21 yards away. And the Panthers have taken the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Elliott going to get it again on second down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now a throw here to his running back, and they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, Fletcher Cox, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and another sack to his ledger there. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throwing. Prescott under pressure, and they got to him again. They overload him that time of the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group. And sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Walker looking to throw on 4th down. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Here's Walker. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined there.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass, yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that penalty?
I'm so confused. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 45-yard line. To throw is Walker. And And they'll work this down inside the 30. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
15 yards there for number 15. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. And quickly they get to the line. Throwing on 2nd and long. Walker. He's got the connection to Moore. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's Marshall. Touchdown, Panthers. Terrace Marshall. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point safely through. And it's now 21-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's Terrace Marshall who's able to cap things off with a touchdown. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. 10th carry now for Elliott. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taking it about the 16. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. This one finds Wilson downfield. Touchdown, Carolina. Garrett Wilson becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Panthers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Prescott's throw here caught by Mims. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. A 1st down throw for Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
To to this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Prescott. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before break. Walker going right back to Wilson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly... Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter. Fields it right around the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC... playoff race time. We give you a look at what's going on there. Off the play fake. Walker going to look deep for Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Draw play. Elliott. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 62 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Wagner. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 45-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Prescott to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Isaiah Simmons picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now this offense... Garrett Wilson headed back out.
And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good. And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in. Zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 18 more yards there and another first down. And they go play action. Here's Walker. Steps away. He's going to look deep for more. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore, 41 yards. And the Panthers extend their lead yet again. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays.
And it concludes with a touchdown.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On third down, Hayward. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Hayward. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
66 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Yeah, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
They'll run on first down. Hayward.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
11 yards and a Panther first down.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And able to work his way down to the 16. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll try the left side. Hayward. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 2nd down, Hayward, and he is in. Touchdown. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll keep it on the ground. Hayward.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a handoff up the middle. Hayward, just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Here we go. 60 Vices, 60 Vices.
On 1st down, Hayward. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Up the middle they go. Hayward. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
They'll try the left side. Hayward, and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll run on 1st down. Hayward.
They'll get this down to the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
146 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Hayward. And here he'll get it down to the 7. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a give right side. Hayward. And he will get into the end zone. It's another.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Carolina, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1.
And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.